I really strongly advise anyone not to scale something which is in mess, because you need to clean up a bit before you will scale.
All right, welcome to Hack to the Future with Kyle Roof. I am Kyle Roof, and today our very special guest is Gabriela Jakabová. Gabriela is the COO of Kentico and is coming to us all the way from Brno, Czechia. Thanks for being here so much, Gabriela.
Hi.
Now, I think the most important question we might get to today is that when did the Czech Republic change its name to Czechia? Because I think I found out about this about 2 years ago, but I feel like I've been to the Czech Republic since then. I think it was like 2016. Did you guys like change it and just like not tell anyone, or how did that?
Yeah, maybe the marketing is completely wrong. They did it just to ensure that foreigners are able to pronounce it correctly and that it's not so like long. Yeah, so it was meant like to have shorter name which could be used for marketing purposes, because obviously Czech Republic is so long that no one was like able to pronounce it correctly, and foreigners were like mixing it with other countries a lot. So they introduced the name Czechia, but probably they did it wrong and the marketing was like correct. Yeah, so even like Czechs are not using it a lot, so we are still like stick with the old name of Czech Republic. So the proper English name is still Czech Republic, but we should be using Czechia for other purposes when it's
I see. Excellent. Now, I love your story. The research team obviously went through it, and so as I know, you were a recruiter for Honeywell for a couple of years, and then you became the HR manager of a company called 2K Czech. You're there for about a year.
Which is gaming company. And they are doing games, like video games. Company name is Take-Two Interactive. Maybe you know them. They are like big company in gaming. They are based in the US.
Very cool.
That's where I started with IT guys.
Right on. And you were the HR manager there, I think, and then you got the job at Kentico.
Yeah, right.
Now, I know the research team, they said that you were like the HR manager, but I think you're a little bit more than that. You're more like the administrative officer of the company. Is that right?
Is it right? Like, the company was really small by that time. We had about 40 employees, and our CEO and owner, Peter Palas, he decided that he would like to get rid of all the admin side or admin stuff which needs to be done. So from the very beginning, I started to be responsible not only for HR, but as well for finance, legal staff, and all the like back office. Like I was like, for example, like opening new subsidiaries or managing development of new offices. Yeah, so it was like really broad scope of whatever.
That was actually going to be my question, because when you look at your LinkedIn page, the amount of things that you have listed there is phenomenal. Like it's a huge list. And my first thought was, there's no way that could have been in the job description. It was just like, you're going to come in and you're going to do everything. Like, is that pretty much what they told you, or did it kind of like start maybe with one thing and it kind of built a little bit?
Not exactly, but when the company is small, the tasks are smaller, like, and you like get to use it and you know how to do it later. Yeah. So because the company was like slowly growing, it wasn't like 200 kilometers per hour speed to the wall. Yeah. So we did it like slowly, but surely. And at the end, I was like ending up this huge team of 25 people or something like that. Where I was like managing them. So it wasn't just me, but I was responsible for like overseeing these tasks and setting up the strategy. Like, I have to say that it's not possible to do it without proper team, and it's always like up to you to choose the right ones, because then your job is simple, easy. You are just like rely on the right people and helping them if they struggle with something, but it's not any longer your responsibility to do all the duties. But on the other hand, it was like really amazing for me because, I'm eager learner and I really love the opportunity to learn many things. So for me, it was like really amazing to have a chance, for example, to be on place when we were like designing office space, because we have 8,000 square meters here. And for me, it was the first time, like when I was in touch with designers, and I had the chance to be with them when we were like doing the layout, and when everything was like on the very beginning, and then you see how the office space is growing, and it's amazing because then it's like your baby. So
Of course. Did you
I
get to the
really love
point
that.
when you were promoted to COO? Did they kind of get to the point they were just like you are the COO and you've been the COO and now like was doing that? Like it feels like it was kind of like a takeover positions till you got to that point, or was there something else that kind of like okay, we now want to transition you into this
Yeah,
official role?
one of my colleagues, he was responsible for marketing as sales partially, but he decided on operations, which are like operations of our like very connected with our sales and marketing processes. And he decided that he would like to go back to the product and product development because this is something he loves. So we kind of switch our roles. I was
Hmm.
like very much involved in it, like even before. Like there wasn't like that title available for me. So we somehow like switch our roles. He's now responsible, like CPO, he's responsible for product development, and I took over the operations. But on the other hand, we hired CFO because my team was like simply too big, and I'm not responsible for finance any longer.
Hmm.
But I still somehow believe that finance or CFO was the most challenging part of my
Hmm.
career because everyone is like simply out underestimating how much of adrenaline could be involved in each audit and so on. So I really loved that part. And but on the other hand, I'm happy that I'm not CFO any longer because it's like a really challenging job. So
I
there was
understand.
some small reorganization. We just switched some parts of my duty for another.
So, while you've been at the CO and while you've been at Kentico in general, you've overseen some massive growth. Before we get into that growth, though, can you give us the 30-second elevator as to what Kentico does? I know it's a CMS, but can you tell us what you guys do and what sets you apart?
We have two products. One is with us from the very beginning of Kentico. It's called Kentico 13. This one is combination of classical CMS with marketing capabilities. So it's a nice mixture. But we realized that this one it's like getting older. Even it's still loved by our customers. So we decided that we don't want to do just simple refresh. So 2-3 years ago, we started with building a new one, which is called Experience by Kentico. And this one, it's a combination of hybrid headless digital experience platform with classical content management and digital marketing capabilities. Yeah, so it's combination of what we feel it's the future of the market because many traditional headless solutions are just like focused on the way how you would like to handle the content, but they are like missing the marketing part. But we
Hmm.
believe that marketers really need that combination, that they don't want to have the best of the breed products for everything. And that was something which our customers loved on Kentico 13, like that it's like really skillful one all-in-one product, which is combining everything you need in one product. And its ROI is definitely better than when you are like buying the best of breed products for everything and combining it in one solution. So that's what we believe is our future or future of the market because we could see, for example, that many customers, even like big companies, are now like looking for something more affordable for them. Yeah, because they obviously don't want to spend fortune for something which they could buy for cheap.
Just so for the people that aren't quite as techy, the idea of a headless CMS or a hybrid headless CMS is that you have a piece of content and that content can go onto your website, but it can also be distributed to other places, and you don't have to worry about like the formatting of the content. Is that
Exactly, you
it's
nailed
easy
it.
it's easy to distribute it around. So who would be like the ideal person that's looking for that solution that would be a customer of kind of.
Usually, this is the aim of marketing, or the marketers are the ones. Because, for
Hmm.
example, you could imagine the day-to-day bread of copywriter. They have to like replace every single piece of the content in many different softwares or many different storages to ensure that the software or the content is published correctly in wherever it goes. Yeah? And because these things are pretty common, it's a nightmare if you are copywriter or marketer, because you don't want to publish something which is outdated. You would like to ensure that you have correct data everywhere. You have, for example, the same picture, you have the same description of your product everywhere. So it's like making your job much easier, because then you have just one single source of truth, and you don't have to take care of multiple channels to ensure that you didn't like miss anything. You don't need any checklist or whatever, like to ensure that you have everything on place.
But so let's get to the portion, the fun facts about Gabriela. And my research team, by research team, I mean, I asked you before we started recording. You are a certified diver. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm newly certified open water diver, and I love that. Like it's the most amazing experience I did. I was like really.
Now
I love diving.
there's not a lot of diving in Czechia, but where do you like to go?
I loved Egypt and Red Sea, because there are like many blog posts on PADI, which is the group which is like providing all the certifications and so on. I have heard that in the United States there are like plenty of really nice locations where I probably need to go, or in Mexico. Or there are like so many places I would like to visit.
I wouldn't be able to tell you. I'm more like a cat. I don't really like the water very much.
I like
I don't really like
fish,
the
yeah.
sand.
So I believe that cats and fishes are like not going
Yeah,
good
maybe not.
together,
Yeah,
but
maybe so. All
I'm more
right, so let's
like
talk
water
about.
animal.
Yeah, true. So you've seen some pretty tremendous, overseen some pretty tremendous growth at Kentico, and the one thing I think that you've overseen, or one of the several things, is the opening of different locations worldwide. I think, how did that become part of the plan for growth of, we need to get out of the Czech Republic? Was that the idea? And we need locations in different spots, or did you identify market trends, or how did that kind of come about? And then what decisions were made to make that growth happen?
First of all, we somehow find out that we would like to be focused only on English-speaking market. Like we
Okay.
are obviously providing our services even in non-English speaking countries, but we are not so strong there, because for us it's difficult to maintain different languages. So we are like much more like open to have our presence fully in English-speaking country. And with that decision, we started in the US, which was obviously the best market for us. And then we have seen the great opportunity in Australia, and then in UK, and then in Netherlands, and then in Germany. So that was the key for us, how to decide where we will open our new subsidiary. Like that, there was a strong proof of the market. So wherever it was, for us, it was like really great to have someone local who understands local business, and it helped us a lot. Yeah, because these guys helped us to grow much rapidly than we were able to do from the Czech Republic, because simply they know their market, they know the companies there, and it helped a lot. And it helped a lot to the
That's exactly what I was
customers
going to
to
ask.
understand us.
That's exactly what I was going to ask. How does opening an office, do you think, help you in that way? Because right now, how the world is going, you think of a lot of companies closing offices and consolidating and kind of work from home. And this is kind of a different idea of actually going and physically being in a particular place and opening that office. So getting employees that have local business knowledge is a big thing. What else kind of or what benefits have you seen by actually having physical offices in these locations?
All these employees, they usually have their own network. So the start
Yeah.
was like easier for us. And how to say it? Like, you know, we are like Czech-based company, and for some companies, like the big ones, it could be kind of weird, yeah, because they sometimes even don't know where the Czech Republic is located. So for many of these companies, it's simply easier to make a job with some local company than to make a job with our headquarters, which is located in Czech Republic. They are time to
I
time
see.
scared of our legal system or whatever. So for them, it's like much easier to close, for example, contracts with a local company, because then the legal review is faster and whatever. Yeah. So it
I understand. That's smart.
makes sense. Like, I don't want to be like, look, if some company is thinking about that, I believe that it's worth to, like, if you know your market, it's worth to go there and open the subsidiary. The legal job is not so big, and it's always like bringing bigger benefit than the work or the costs you need to spend.
Do you think opening up the offices is what has directly led to your growth?
I believe so. Like in
Yeah.
US, it was completely visible when we started to be present in US market. It was like bam, like we were suddenly like able to get even like bigger companies in our portfolio. Like we were like getting bigger logos and so on. So it helped a lot. And it helped as well a lot with non-profit and government customers as well. Yeah, because they are like searching more for local solution than some international solution. So it helped us a lot.
That makes sense. The agency that I had, I think, benefited from that because when we started, I was in the U.S. My business partner was bouncing back and forth between Germany and Australia, and even though we had a sum total of three people working, we had three offices: one in San Francisco, one in Berlin, and one in Melbourne. It looked very sexy, and I think you're right. I think people like to work with a local company when they see you have a location there. It does open doors.
Yeah, sure.
I
And
think for sure. I think for sure.
like I even like know many CEOs here in Czech Republic who are like still very reluctant to go there and try it. But it's worth to. Like, if you will lose something, it will be like nothing significant. You should try and you will see.
So in your like I think your personal growth, which is phenomenal, going the path you have up to COO and then also the growth that the company has. Anything you've identified that's kind of helped that in your own life or anything that you have identified like this is what we did in the company in order to really help generate that growth?
I really strongly advise anyone not to scale something which is in a mess, because you need to clean up a bit before you will scale up. So we always try to solve issues wherever it started and not to let the issues go or not to pray that it will somehow disappear. Like, it's every single time worth of work, even if you don't want to invest your time and do so, but you simply shouldn't let it be. Like, if it's not non-performing employee or if it's some lack of processes, it could be whatever. And I know that there is like never the right time for doing such things, but it's so worth like not to let it be and ensure that you have like your stuff ready or your things ready before you will grow rapidly and you will be not able to manage it. Because it could happen that it happened to some companies that they were not able to manage their growth. And I have seen like many CEOs who simply like burn out because they were like not ready to scale up. And in some level, they decided that they would rather sell the company than to run it again because they simply burn out. So you should be aware of your capabilities. If you are not the right person for that, it's okay.
Yeah.
You should seek advice. There are like many advisors who can help you with that. And in some point, it's up to you to decide whether it's still feasible for you or if it's like too much. Yeah? Because I have seen like many of them who were simply like fighting to the end, and then they were like not able to do it any longer. Yeah, so they simply disappeared from the business, and they were like feeling very sorry for that, because somehow it was their kid and they enjoyed that, but they get to the point they were not able to do it any longer. So
I think, you know,
this
when
is
you're a
it.
smaller company, sometimes it's easy to, or even a large company, it's easy to let small problems go, like, and just not fix them. And then also when you're small, though, you're really connected closely to people, and sometimes it's hard to tell people you're doing a bad job. You're not doing it
Exactly.
correctly, or you're not a good employee, especially if they started with you at the beginning. But I think your point is extremely valid. You start small here and people are working, but at some point you might have to let some people go in order to properly scale because they're just going to hold you back.
Exactly. This is it. Yeah, because some people could be good for some phase of your company and will
Yeah.
be not able to manage it any longer. And that's the time you need to hire someone else. Maybe seek another job for that person, or maybe let
Hmm.
them go with a nice package. Like, we are not family, we are running business. So you
Right.
need to do right decision when there is right time. And this is something you need to learn. Like many people are just simply feeling sorry to do so, but it's
Yeah.
nothing bad. Times come and you need to do it like nice way, politely, but that's life.
Yeah. Sometimes people aren't a good fit. And you do have to let them go. I love that. Sometimes you have to let them go. You have to change some processes, and some people might be involved in those processes that just need to change, and that's going to hold you back from scaling and growing. I love that. That's awesome. Well, Gabriela, thank you so much for being on Hack to the Future. This is Gabriela Jakabová, who's the CEO of Kentico. Go check them out for a hybrid CMS option, especially if you're doing a lot of digital marketing distribution. And again, thanks so much. Thanks everyone for watching or listening, and we'll talk to you next time. Thanks so much.
Welcome. Bye.